We are back for round two. Round two coming up. Good morning. Good morning, afternoon. Salutations to everybody. Happy New Year. This is Greg, the real internet pilot of AX3, the All About Aviation channel. And we are coming back again with this bird. Last night we did pretty well. You know, for first time flying this airplane in a long time. New version of the airplane we used last night. We did get a couple good landings at the end, but overall I wasn't very happy with, like, you know, the beginning of the flight. We had some issues in the beginning. Yeah, man. So the only thing I want to change, again, I just wanted to see what it looked like with the regular winglets. I'm going to change it back to same setup we had last night, and then we'll go ahead and get this bird fired up, juiced up, get this bitch in the air, and yeah, man, we want to try to have ourselves a good flight for the new year. Yes, sir. All right, let's get inside this airplane. Make sure you do hit like and subscribe. It helps so much. Make sure you hit the follow button if you're on Kick as well. Kick is still giving me issues on this damn tablet, but you know, hopefully it'll get working up here soon. So see everybody in the chat. All right, so let's see here. So GPU connected. All right, let's go ahead and get our payload situated here. Okay, airside services. So let me pull up AviTab again. That's right, I have to do it here. Charts. Here's our new flight. New flight, old flight, same type of flight. I just reran it though in their system in SimBrief just to get any new updates for weather and routing and things like that. All right, so we have 152 people. All right, cargo, we have... Let's see what our fuel says. AviTab, charts. Okay, fuel is 14.4. 14,435. Hey, what up, Skelby? Happy New Year, bud. How goes it, my friend? Pretty good? Alright, cargo. Let's see how many pounds we got here. AviTab, charts. So cargo is 8.4 and payload is 37. Nice. Very good to hear. Very good. Okay, so cargo, was it 8.4 cargo? Shit, we just looked at, I should have wrote it down. Okay, cargo is 8.4. All right, so 8,400. Very good. Now we can activate. All right, that is now working. Let's go ahead and get everything turned on. And one thing we forgot to do last night was turn the chime on, and that will allow the passengers to be loaded. Let's put our battery on. Check our battery volts first. Battery 1. Oh, just one battery. Okay. All right, ground power. All right, let's go ahead and load up. Let's do this. Let's align our system. We have KCLT. Let us put a gate in. Let me try B10 and just see what happens. No shit, we can put a gate in. What fucking gate am I at? Let's go, bitch. We'll just say B10. I think that's where I'm at. That's cool, dude. All right, we are aligned. Let's go ahead and put these on nav. This one steady. All right, let's go ahead and get the APU turned on, and then we will load up our passengers. Not going to take us too long to get out of here today, not like yesterday. All right, enter position. Okay, route. We have KCLT to KPIT. American 1335. All right, and then before we plug in anything, let's make sure we're still good with this departure that we have. Let me activate display screen so we can see say intentions again. ATIS is 121.15. Let's go ahead and plug that in. I do have live time and weather on.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Thanks, Lisa.
Zero feet. Pavement repairs.
All right, we have information X-ray. All right, so now we have 127.15.
Advise on initial contact. You have information.
Shit, what was that information again?
Area. Expect
Information X-ray. Okay, so 127.15. Charlotte Douglas clearance American 60 Alpha November requesting IFR clearance to Pittsburgh. We have information X-ray. Good afternoon.
Clearance on request. You're number 1.
And kick, I should just be all about aviation. Be the same name.
American 0 Alpha November cleared to Pittsburgh via the Kreischer 6 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 8,000. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.35, squawk 2446. And your departure runway was changed to 18 center.
Cleared to Pittsburgh by the Kreischer 6 departure, then is filed. Climb, maintain 8,000. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.35, squawk 2446, and roger that on departure runway 18 center, American 60 Alpha November. Yeah, I'll put it up in the chat.
Alpha November, read that correct. Contact ground on 121.8 when ready.
Once we get up in the air, I'll put my kick channel in the YouTube chat. But roger that, contact ground on 121.8, American 0 Alpha November. So 121.8 is right there. So, all right, let's go ahead and get our flight plan put in. Hey, what up, Frank? How you doing, bud? A little tough for me to see chat still. Just like last night, my son is still using my laptop while he's home for this week. But
welcome aboard American Airlines flight 1335.
all right, 18 center.
Douglas International Airport and heading to Pittsburgh International
6.
Airport. We kindly ask that you take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please do not hesitate to contact any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing American Airlines, and we hope you have a pleasant flight.
All right, then we have Indigo, Lima. Let me move this over so I can. There we go. Indigo. And we have Q69. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully this year will be better than last year for all of us. That's always the plan, is to improve oneself, I would think. Nobody really wants to stay the same forever. Do they? I mean, maybe people do. I mean, there is some sort of comfort in staying the same forever, but I think it would be kind of boring, actually, if we just stayed the same forever. Yeah, man. Go ahead. Pennsylvania's right next door to you. Alright. Activate. We're not going to save this flight plan. Let's go to legs. Let's get rid of that vector. Now, last night we had an issue where we plugged in our cruising altitude, and the airplane would not go up to it. We actually had to, we couldn't use VNAV at all last night, really. Not that big of a deal, but I was just very surprised about that. Alright, let's see here. RTE data, that didn't work last night. Let's put in our cruising altitude. We have flight level 290. Alright, and what are they looking for here? Payload. The gross vehicle weight of 146.5. Okay, so fuel. Okay, so everything is just about done. Very good. Okay. So let's go to payload. So we have takeoff 146.5. All right, cost index is $38. So say 13.9. Close enough. All right, let's put in our cruise wind. I don't think we don't really have reserves. I didn't really set it. We'll just put in 5 anyways. All right, that's close enough. Alright, so cruise wind, we are looking at 229 by 90. Then top of climb wind. Oh, temperature top of climb. Okay, average wind, average ISA. Alright, let's go down to our actual flight plan and get to the top of climb here. Minus 45. Alright, and then to do our speeds, let's go ahead and now the system in this tablet still doesn't calculate anything for takeoff, so we can just not even worry about that. Let's finish putting our APU on. We'll get our V speeds, and then we'll get clearance to back up. All right, let's put this to 30,000. That's still accurate for landing. Those are still auto. Yaw dampener on. Disconnect the ground power. Let's go ahead and let me stop sharing my display real quick. And I'll bring up SimBrief and we'll get our V-speeds. Alright, let's go performance and tools. Populate from last flight. Okay, so we have no D rate, an assumed temp of 52. Alright, and then we do need to put in, now the slope from last night, if I remember right, was minus 0.5 was the slope. Oh, and the heading was 183. 0.5, 183. And let me pull up Navigraph. We'll get our wind. .270 by 10. Flaps 5. Center of gravity 27.8. Good. Trim that out. V speeds. Okay, everything looks good there. V speeds we have, does it give us V speeds? No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, 143, 43, and 49, and that's pretty close. So very good. Alright, so let's close all that out. Let's get clearance for pushback and engine start. Are we on the right frequency? Yes, we are. Alright. Charlotte Douglas ground, American 0 Alpha November requesting pushback and engine start.
American 0 Alpha November pushback and engine start approved. Terminal.
Okay, let's get rid of GPU. Let's remove the chocks. Better pushback.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Axe off. I still can't believe that I got banned on Reddit from the channel, one of my favorite channels.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
It was one of my favorite channels. It was called Don't Put That in Your Ass. And I guess they don't like anything sexual, so I didn't know that. But I I put there was a picture of this woman grabbing like this. It looked like a 100-pound big black dildo. And I put it on there. I put it on the Reddit. I thought it was funny. But they I guess they didn't think it was as funny as me. They banned me. They wanted to chat with me about it. I'm not chatting with you, man. Got nothing to say to you. Some fucking taco lunchable.
Connected and Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. All right, parking brake should be released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they kicked me for that.
American 99 Charlotte ground, taxi to Concourse D gate 6 via Charlie 10, blue line. Good day.
Now, last night we started the engines without any fuel pumps on, so we're doing better this time already. We got the fuel pumps turned on. Such a good airplane for free, it really is. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, I didn't follow your channel's 55-year-old moderator that lives in his mom's basement eating taco Lunchables and flight director's on. Unlike the 737 MAX, we don't have to. The N2 doesn't say motoring. Like if you have the iFly 737 MAX, you're gonna want to wait for the motoring to turn off. It'll say motoring, and then when it goes off, that's when you want to activate the fuel for the engine. Alright, I can now stop holding the button.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
No truck. Always trucks trying to crash into my airplanes. Doesn't matter what simulator. Should be going.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Excellent. I like turning on the taxi lights by accident sometimes. They're like, can you turn your taxi lights off? We can't see. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Alright, I think we're ready for taxi. Charlotte Douglas ground, American 0 Alpha November, ready, taxi runway 18 center.
American 0 Alpha November, runway 18 center, taxi via blue line, Echo 17 Echo.
Taxi via blue line, Echo 17 Echo. American 0 Alpha November. All right, I want to see what Echo 17 Echo looks like real quick before we go anywhere. Blue line is just following those arrows, I believe. Let's see here. We have Abby tab, airport. Yeah, I can type this in, KC. Oh, that's so beautiful. She can type it in and push enter. Oh yeah, what's our 2988. Sorry, that was me moving the flaps by accident. All right, 2988. Okay, airport. So I do want to get here. Oh, Echo 17. Okay, so the blue line to Echo 17, and then we just take that straight up. Alright, parking brake is released. I did change the settings for the rudder on ground. I changed that before I started today. Remember last night we couldn't turn that well on the ground at first. But if you're using rudder pedals, you're gonna switch the system to yaw. This right here is what I'm talking about. If we go into settings, go under general, not general, go under hardware. Nose wheel axis, you want this to be on yaw. If you're using rudder pedals, yaw is probably going to be the best option for you. Lisa, would you mind welcoming all our guests and giving them the safety rundown, please? We're taxiing to the runway.
Yo, Greg, I can't handle.
Oh shit, that's Chad, my bad.
That's not something I can do. Let's focus on getting to the runway, yeah?
Shit. My bad, Chad. I'm so sorry, man. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
No worries, Greg. All good, bro.
Hey, Lisa, would you mind giving our wonderful, esteemed guests a safety rundown as we're taxiing to the runway?
Ladies and gentlemen,
There we go.
welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 1335, departing from Charlotte Douglas International Airport and heading to Pittsburgh International Airport. Our estimated flight time is approximately 65 minutes. We ask that you please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for our frequent flyers. Please fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal fitting into the buckle and pulling the straps tight. To release, simply lift the buckle. Remember, your seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. At this time, please return your seat back to the tray table to the upright position and ensure that your window blinds are open for takeoff and landing. All mobile
What kind of little jet is that? Is that a Cirrus Vision? The tail looks like a Cirrus Vision jet.
Smoking and the use of cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatory.
Not sure if a Japan Airlines Airbus would be sitting here or not. I've never heard of a Japan Airlines landing in Charlotte, but it could be. Hey, kick's working again. Yay! It is the party plane, that's right. I'd be partying on that plane if I was on it. Yeah, man, we flying to Pittsburgh, Keith. I'm coming to see you. Happy New Year, bud. Yeah, I did this flight last night, but it took me like 5 or 6 different landing attempts to start buttering it. And I was not happy with that performance, so we're doing this flight again. And we had some issues with takeoff and some of their systems not really working properly. So I just want to see if it does it again today, or maybe it was just user error. That's right. We heading to Pitt. This is a real flight, actually. American Airlines does fly this flight daily, it looks like. It's flight 1335 from Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and then Pittsburgh to Charlotte each day. All right, we can get rid of this this one now. We can bring up our takeoff. So we have our flight director on. Now, one thing I will say about this plane, and I don't know if it's like this with the controller, or if it's just like it with the yoke system, but and I think it's partly because I have it set on realistic, but you will not be able to gauge the autopilot if your trim is out of whack. Like, if you let go of your yoke and your plane notes like is not pretty much even like it should be, the autopilot won't kick on. One thing you can do in this system is, use CWS, which is almost like autopilot. It just gives you little, it allows for little inputs with the yoke. But yeah, man, this is one of those planes where you can't activate the autopilot unless you are trimmed out properly, which makes sense. Look at our trim right now. That's so messed up. I don't know why it does that. That was one thing last night about this, like when I was redoing the landings. When I was redoing the landings, the trim was always like straight, like at 0. Like it was like all the way down. I don't get it. That's one thing. I don't know if it's a Turtle Beach thing or if it's a X-Plane thing or a LevelUp thing, but it's got to be something with my Turtle Beach system, because it's like every airplane I get into, as soon as I touch, and what I'm talking about is this trim wheel right here, this number 4, this trim wheel. For some reason, I just look at it the wrong way. Like, I just look at it, and it moves all the way forward. And what I mean is, like, I'll just move it like an inch, just a centimeter, right? I just touch it just to activate it. And it seems like every time I do that, the first time in each airplane that I go to move it, it throws it all the way forward or all the way back. And then after that, it's fine. Like, if I restart the airplane, it's fine. Throughout the rest of a flight, it's fine. But it just seems like the first time I touch it in an airplane on that flight, it throws it all the way forward or all the way back. It's really weird. Really weird. Yeah, I know what you mean. When I go to check the axis, sometimes like the trim is off. Like, I have to like reverse the axis, and whenever I go into Microsoft and I try to use the wheel as the command to search, I have to spin that wheel literally like 5 or 10 seconds before it finds it. It is the craziest thing. Probably should be contacting the tower here. That is 118.1. Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff.
Cabin crew is preparing for takeoff.
Charles Douglas Tower, American 0 Alpha November, holding short runway 18 center, ready for departure.
American
cabin is
0
secured.
Alpha
Have a good
November.
flight.
Charlotte Tower, runway 18CC, wind 260 at 10, gusting 17. RNAV, J. Dean, cleared for takeoff.
All right, let's go. We're gonna turn and burn this thing. Oh, you know what? We are not gonna turn and burn. I want to check one thing before we go. I'll finish lining up in a second here. Actually, here, let me get lined up real quick, and then we'll. I just want to check our cruising altitude again, because last night I was having such issues with that. Which we shouldn't. We've flown this airplane plenty of times. Yeah, see, like tonight it's okay. It's got 29,000 in there. But last night it just would not. Okay, whatever. Let's go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
You're nuts. E1.
V1. Rotate.
And let me get control of this airplane before we fall out of the sky.
American 0 Alpha November. Charlotte Tower. Contact departure.
Contact departure, American Alpha 0 Alpha November. Charlotte departure, American 0 Alpha November, currently climbing past 2,000 feet for flight level 290.
American 0 Alpha November, Charlotte approach, radar contact. Climb and maintain 8,000, turn left heading 340, vectors to J. Dean, then is filed.
Roger that, turn left heading 340 vectors, then is filed, American 0 Alpha November.
Roger that.
Oh shit, I never
Turn
put the
in
landing
left,
gear up.
heading 340 for vectors to J. Dean.
Oh, it's up now.
American 1335, making a left turn to heading 340 for vectors to J. Dean.
Okay, so let's put this thing in CWS heading mode.
American 0 Alpha November, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, American 0 Alpha November. I'm still using manual inputs. See, our auto. See,
American 0 Alpha November, direct J. Dean, then is filed, please.
why does the auto throttle not? Okay, there we go. Look at our speed. That is crazy. Yeah, let's turn the auto throttle off. All right, let's go back into LNAV.
American 0 Alpha November, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Dear guests, the lavatories are now available.
Climb and maintain flight level 280, American 0 Alpha November. But that was a better takeoff than last night. I don't know why the auto throttle doesn't work in VNAV. Maybe it's not set up with this autopilot system here. That's okay. We'll be alright. We'll just do level change. And then that's how we'll climb. And we'll just reduce our speed a little bit at a time. Very good. We are on our way, baby. Much better weather than last night. Last night was like all like cloud cover the whole time. And we were landing in 40. The wind, I don't know, Keith, I don't know if you're still watching or not, but it was, I guess, really windy in Pittsburgh yesterday, because when we were landing, like the headwind, it was like a 40 like knot headwind that we were landing into. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like, I'm not complaining. It was real fun. All right, let me find the Kick Chat link, and I'll put it in. Was it? See, that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping it'd be snowy when I landed, and that's the original reason I chose this flight, was because it looked like you guys were having a lot of snow. And then when we were coming in for landing, there was no snow. It was just cloud covered. Oh, was that banner on? Let me see here. No, it's not. Let me put the banner on. I always forget to put that on.
November, contact Atlanta Center on 133.15.
Contact Atlanta Center on 133.15, American 0 Alpha November. Why is that held for review? YouTube is so stupid. Hang on, let me contact Atlanta Center first.
American 0 Alpha November, climb and maintain.
Atlanta Center, good afternoon, American 0 Alpha November, climbing through 8,000 feet for flight level 290.
American 0 Alpha November, Atlanta Center, good afternoon, Mooresville altimeter 2987.
Yeah, Keith, that message you wrote about, you got 6 inches, for some reason YouTube held that. They held that for me to let it in and allow it. I did get rid of all the moderators. I wasn't sure who was changing stuff behind the scenes, but there was somebody that was going in and changing a lot of settings and shit like that. Alright, let me see. How do I get my... Here's my channel. Alright, so I'm going to put my channel in the YouTube chat. Kick. If anybody ever wants to watch it on there. I like using Kick. I like using it for trolling DSP. Darkside Phil. I go in there usually... every time he's streaming, I try to. I try to go in there and be a little bit of a detractor. There we go. There's my Kick. Yeah, I like trolling him. It's fun. But I like doing it on Kick because of all the emojis and all that. Kick makes it fun to chat. I like the emojis and shit they have. Yeah, YouTube is gay sometimes. And hopefully tonight, depending on what time I get back, it's my mom's birthday today, so we're going out for that tonight. But if I get back in time, I do want to do that. I want to do that flight over again in the Q400 that we did the other day. I don't know if you guys saw any of that But that landing at that airport, I mean, we did not see the runway until we were like 200 or 300 feet above ground. And I'm sure in real life they would have had that airplane divert. But I want to try another Azores flight in the Q400 again. It was only like a 40-minute flight, but that landing was hard, man. That was a hard-ass landing. We got an acceptable landing at the end, but like you're hugging an island the whole time. You know, the tops of the island, like you're battling mountains that are 2,500 feet in the air, and you're flying like next to them the whole time trying to get this landing. The only lateral guidance you have is an ADF needle, and then visual the rest of the way. There's no vertical guidance with it. It's a really fun landing. All right, and I remember yesterday we were cruising at Mach 0.78. Now, did they tell us we can get to 29? Oh yeah, they did say 29,000 feet. I maintain 29,000. Okay. Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow, gotta work Saturday. Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving, man. They gave us like, that was beautiful, man. They gave us like 5 days off in a row. It was awesome. I'm a little nervous about going back to work. Last time I was off on New Year's Day, I was working for Medicare, and when I got back to the company, they fired like 1,000 of us because Medicare season was over. I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow when I get back to work. But man, I'd be really pissed if I got let go from this job. I like what I do. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass being on the phone all day, and it gets a little monotonous saying the same things over and over again, but that's pretty much with any job. Not unless you're like a, you know, I don't know. Unless you do something that's not the same thing every day. It's a little difficult with jobs. Most jobs, it's the same sort of thing every day. It just, sometimes the routine's a little different about it. This is such a good airplane. It really is, man. Yeah, man. I want to win the mega. I just want to win the lottery. That's my retirement plan. I know it's not going to happen, but that would make me happy. Right, you can say shit, but you can't say you got 6 inches, right? Yeah, I had to approve that message.
Now begin the snack and beverage service. We have some delicious options for you, including our popular chicken salad wrap and refreshing fruit juices. After the service, selected items from the American Airlines shop will be available. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
And we'll go Mach 7.4 today. It said 7.9, but we'll go 7.5. And we'll do 7.4. Alright, we are in cruise mode. Alright, so while that is doing its thing, let's go ahead and get our map set up here for landing. A runway. Alright, here's their weather. Let me plug that in first. Because in this airplane, we can plug it in, and it puts it as like a standby option. Here we go down here. Yeah, it's got it as standby. Cool, I like it. I like when airplanes do that. That way you can set things up before you start landing. Alright, and then we have arrival, this is our arrival. Right, that's what we did yesterday. Nesto, Dem, Lambert. I wonder if Lambert is, that can't be from the character from Aliens. I think Stiller's probably for Ben Stiller. Alright, and then we have approach. We're doing 28 left again. I don't care about cat 2 or 3. We're not auto landing it. We're going to be coming in again by hand. So we have 108.9, 281. Let's set up 281. Oh wow, still set from last night. Look at that, that's cool. And we still have the frequencies put in from last night. And that's pretty interesting that it keeps that info. I wonder, it didn't save our runway though, probably. Oh, by the way, this flight door thing, before you take off, you can't get rid of the error message on it. It's always going to show that it's unlocked. Alright, so let's set this up. Let's see here, runway. Yeah, okay. So let me open up Navigraph again. Alright, so we have 1,122 feet. So we have 1122 enter. Then we have 11.5, I think is what it was. Yep, 11.5. And then mode, we're going to do I for instrument, V is for visual. Now we got our runway set up, so we should, that should put the reticle of the heads-up display right on the sweet spot, right on the meat, the sweet meat of the touchdown zone. Alright, we're cruising well. Everything looks good. Fuel looks good. Generators look good. Excellent, so we can just chill for a little bit. It's got to be an awesome thing being a pilot for a living. I imagine it would get monotonous like any job as well, but I don't know. Dude, I watched a video on YouTube the other day. It was like 16 years old, this video. It was an MD-80, I think it was. It was an MD-80, I think, taken off from Saint Martin. And in the title of it, it said something about like a Ferrari style takeoff. And the pilot even said that, and I guess maybe it throws you back in your seat like a sports car. I'm guessing. I don't really know what that meant. I haven't looked it up yet, so I don't know for sure what it meant. But that would be my guess, is that it's like a race car style takeoff, where where it's so much thrust it just throws you in the back of your seat. I think that is cool, man. If you're in a big ass passenger plane like an MD-80 or an MD-88 or something like that. Yeah, we'll come back to 400. I have a Piaggio flight as well, the P180. I have a couple of RICCS that I've been looking at. Here, we might as well look at them real quick. I'll show you the two different flights I'm thinking about here. With me, I'm kind of a nerd. I like to go into FlightAware and find flights. That's how almost every single flight I do is based off of some real world flight. Like I said, this one here is American Airlines 1335 from Charlotte to Pittsburgh.
American 0 Alpha November, Atlanta Center. Expect the Dan 5 arrival. LEJOY transition. Descent coming up in about 20 minutes. If you'd like to descend now, just say the word.
So here was the one from last night. Okay, let me just respond to this guy, and let me respond to this gentleman here, and Roger that, Atlanta Center, Dem 5 arrival, LeJoy transition. We'll wait for your descent instructions. We'll hold up for about 20 more minutes. Thank you. American 0 Alpha November. Okay. I have a couple of flights that so there's, let's see here, this flight here, it goes from like Wyoming, it's not a big flight, but it goes from Wyoming to Aberdeen, Indiana. There's one from Phoenix to Yellowstone. Like, it's flown a bit around. I think the one I was looking at the other day was this Aberdeen to Phoenix. Because it was around an hour. Anyway, so that's one flight that I'm looking at. And then I have this flight as well. And this, again, it's a Piaggio P180 Avanti. You know, and this one's cruising for a while at 37,000 feet. We have Lynette. This might have been the actual... I think this is one... I almost made a thumbnail for this one here. From Milan, Italy to Nice, France. I think that would be a really cool flight to do in the Piaggio. Only at 19,000 feet, though. That's surprising. I guess because it's such a short flight. And then here's another cool flight. London, Luton to Nice. I mean, that's a pretty decent flight for that kind of airplane. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I need to do the Q400 one first. Actually, let me get that look back up here again. That was SAT 570, I believe. Yep. Yeah, this Porta, man, that is a pain in the ass to land on. Because you come in. Okay, I'll tell you. Let me pull it up on Navigraph. I'll show you guys. Let me just save this. Alright, let me turn off telematics. Right, and let me just make sure that this is the... No, this is a different... That's different. Here, this is the flight. Flores, this is the airport. Yes, this is the airport. LPFL. Yeah, this is the little bugger right here. Yeah, this is the one. Because when we came in, they had us go up to, like, hey, this is about 10 miles between these two. But these mountaintops are like 2,500 feet, 2,700 feet. So you're coming in. Now, this was all cloud covered. You couldn't see shit. And we're coming in just following an ADF needle.
American 0 Alpha November. Contact Washington Center on 125.725.
I couldn't see the mountain, so that was the thing. Like, it was so foggy, I couldn't see anything until like 200 feet above the ground. But yeah, we're gonna do this flight again. Contact Washington Center on 125.725, American 0 Alpha November. Washington Center, good afternoon, American 0 Alpha November, currently cruising flight level 290.
American 0 Alpha November, Washington Center, good afternoon.
Now, one thing I didn't have time to do yesterday was put in the descent forecast. Let me see if it'll allow me to plug it all in today. Alright, so anti-ice, we'll do flight level 250. Do flight level 010. Shit. Okay, ISA deviation is -3. Oh, I got to put a Q and H in as well. That's right. Minus. We'll do 003 slash 29.93. Okay, and then our descent winds. Let's see. Okay, so we'll do 20,000 feet. $15,000, $10,000. Jet. $30 by 82, so 300 by 82. $300 by 72. And then 295 by 60. Alright, so there's our descent forecast. Now the landing performance does work a little bit on here. It'll give you an idea of what you could be looking at as far as distance. Let me go ahead and just, well, I guess we'll pull up the wind. Let me go back to Navigraph, see what they're saying for the winds. Alright, so we have minus 8 degrees. Wow. That is cold. Alright, 28, 280 by 12. $280 by 12. Outside it is minus 8. And QNH is 2993, which is equivalent to 1014. Landing weight, we'll just say like 133. Just to get us an idea. And see, it does give us a kind of a landing, in meters. So, not great, but it's, better than nothing, I guess. Now, the map wasn't really working too well last night. Let's see if it's working. Oh, there we go. Beckley, West Virginia, Greenbrier. Okay, it's working tonight. Very nice look. I like the map. Cool. Okay, my aircraft, other aircraft, airports, POIs, visual references. Very nice. I know I don't really need that on, but I'd rather have the info here. Very good. Now I did zero out all the sensitivity. I left. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. So if you have a yoke system, you can go up and change the sensitivity here. You can controller sensitivity. So This I used to have, you know, at like 20%. So I zeroed everything out. That's what I saw on the forums last night about LevelUp. I did leave the response curve how I have it set. I've had it set like this for months now. I found some help online on what these different items mean. And I forget what they mean at the time now, but I remember what they meant back then, and it helped out a lot. And that's part of the reason why I've been able to, I think, you know, have really good control of some of the airplanes that I've flown. But last night it was very difficult to control this airplane. It might have just been that I haven't flown this airplane in a long time, which it could be, because you guys know, you guys jump in different aircrafts all the time. It's very difficult sometimes to jump into an aircraft that you haven't been in and flown in a long time and get in and just, like, you know, fly the fucker. It's tough sometimes. X-Plane is a really good looking game. It really is. Like, I know Microsoft, it shows you like what's really on ground or close to it, but X-Plane's the uncle. That's why I got them called Uncle X-Plane. You guys know what I'm talking about. Have you guys seen the beginning of the new beginning of the videos? Let's play it again real quick. This always makes me crack up. I like this. Okay, starting soon. How come it's not, okay, starting soon. And it's very strange that it's not, oh, it's because I got display capture on. Hang on a second. No, maybe not. It's not playing at all right now. That is very weird. It has the away message. Got my outro. Properties. Yeah, new old style intro. Alright, let's put it on loop and see if that fixes it. There we go. Reminds me of like an old, like, 70s or 80s show. OG, baby! New kid on the block and an Uncle X-Plane. Best uncle ever. It really is, man. Whenever you need X-Plane, they're there. Just like the best uncle ever. And am I starring Turtle Beach Velocity 1. Anyways, I just that music, I saw that music on another channel. Well, I heard it first. I didn't see the music. I heard it, and I was like, "Damn, I like that." I'm like, I can use that. Let me think of something. And I just remember, like, you remember, like, in the 80s shows, like in the 70s shows, like when they had the intros, like it would like zoom in on the character doing something, or, you know, or them talking, or them in some situation. So I was like, "Ooh, I could do that." Let me just go ahead and I didn't even say anything when I recorded that. I was just going blah 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 blah, and just grabbed the yoke and started steering it. I was like, all right, well, that's five or 6 seconds. What can we do next? Well, we got the 3 simulators. Hey, what's up, dude? Happy New Year. We're reflying the flight from last night. We're giving this airplane another try before I go out for dinner. It could have been Starsky and Hutch. You know what? I don't know. We'll play it again. Maybe Chicago knows. Hang on. I don't know. Well, he's younger than us, so I don't know if he would know. It might be Starsky and Hutch. I thought it was some sort of police show. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. We should be beginning our descent here pretty soon. Oh yeah, I like the new intro too. Yeah, I do. I like it. Yeah, it's fun. All right, let's see here. Do I still have this? Let me turn display capture back on so we can see say intentions again. All right, so top of descent they're saying in about 8 minutes. Let's get the airport pulled up here. I really like the checklist that Say Intentions has out now. These call and response checklists. I didn't load one for the 737. If I wind up flying the Q400 again tonight, I'll use it for like the first part again. It takes a long time to go through it because the AI is you know, they're still working on it. But I like the checklist feature now. You can have them. I really want it to do where like if you flip the switch, they'll move on to the next thing. You know, but I don't think they have that yet. Like an airplane, when you say you know, like because right now they only have certain personalities that can handle the checklist. Like, so we usually use Adeline or Addison from Australia. So if we say Addison, let's run through the before start checklist, they'll start running through it. And I did find where you can actually alter the command. So instead of you just saying check, you can actually say like batteries on, you know, or you could say, you know, APU generator on. You can say like certain phrases. But yeah, that's cool. And this new map system they have out is really nice too. I like it. Yeah, they've had some good updates with Say Intentions. I like it. Still haven't wanted to cross over to VATSIM yet. Maybe one day I will. I just, you know, I don't, you know, I understand that that's, you know, like realistic in a way, but I don't know. I don't really feel the need to be that realistic. You know, I like the AI stuff. You know, I like AI for certain things. Like this is okay, but I don't want AI like making music or making videos, you know, like, or making video games. Like, you know, I think real people still need to have jobs. We're not at the higher level of mental capacity where we've gotten over wars and we've gotten over greed and lust and things like that. If we as a civilization can ever get over those feelings of I and me, and more like we, not like communism type we, but like, you know, I think there's always going to be a need for humans, you know, for a lot of jobs. For a free airplane, this is very nice. I think, in my opinion, I think it's the best free airplane that's available for any simulator. I mean, the FlySim, who's the company that makes the A320 and the A380? I have it on my desktop. Can't figure out what the name of it is now. What starts with an F? Yeah, fly-by-wire, that's it. Fly-by-wire. I mean, they make very good stuff too, but oh yeah. Yeah, it could be Dallas or Dynasty. You know what I can do? Actually, I think we're getting ready to descend. I was going to pull up my phone and let Google search, or let Siri search for the song on my iPad. I don't know. I was watching it. I got it from another channel. I was watching stuff on Daryl Brooks, and there was a channel I never saw before. It's called like Bad Times Media or Good Times Media, something like that. And they had that song as their intro for one of the Daryl Brooks videos, and I was like, I like that. So I tried to kind of recreate it on myself, but I couldn't recreate it. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll just try it. And if I get copyright, you know, if I get a copyright thing, it is what it is. Like, you know, I don't make money on these videos anyway, so if they're not monetized, like, I don't really care. Like, it's not a big deal to me. That's why I've tried playing Aliens, you know, while we've flown. Like, I've tried playing actual movies while we've flown, and I did that with Joe Rogan last week. I started playing a Joe Rogan podcast and had it up and like on the bottom corner of the screen, And within like 5 minutes, the stream was taken down. I had no idea. I actually got a warning for that. So I did their little online class for the warning, and you know, hopefully in 90 days, if I don't get any more warnings or strikes, it'll get taken off. I did have a strike at one point on this channel, like 2 years ago, when I was, you know, spitting facts about that COVID shot. YouTube didn't like my stance on that stuff, and they gave me a strike real quick. I might have Chad handle the comms on the way down. We'll see. Depends on... You know, hang on one second. I just want to check one control real quick. One thing that bothers me. So I have, on my hat switch, I have it set up to do autopilot, like heading up and all that. But it only clicks it one at a time. Let me just check heading real quick and see if there's another heading option for this. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. See, in like every airplane, except for this one, really, every airplane, if I use my hat switch to move the heading or the altitude, like I can hold the button and it'll spin it. This one, it's like just one, like I have to like continually click it. Same thing for the altitude. Not a big deal. It's just when you're, you know, reading back commands to the ATC. And then, you know, trying to turn this at the same time. One thing it is nice, though, I should say, is that when you do use your mouse and you have it, you know, like this, you can just hold it and it'll spin it. So, I mean, that does make it better. All right, let's go ahead and update this. Okay, we have our landing data in. We have 10,000 at Nesto. We should have 6,000 at Stiller. All right, that all looks good. We have, looks like 200 feet for landing. I think that's what on the chart here. Yeah, circling, we have 1880, and yeah, 200 on Barrow, 1325. Radio altitude.
November, Washington Center. Descend via Demi 5 LeJoy transition into Pittsburgh. Altimeter 2987.
Descend via the Dem 5 LeJoy transition in Pittsburgh, American 0 Alpha November. Alright, so we're just going to do level change since VNAV doesn't really work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Pittsburgh International Airport. At this time, we kindly ask everyone to return to their seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note the use of the lavatories.
Happy New Year, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks for the super chat, dude. I appreciate that. Happy New Year, bud. Yeah, I haven't bought the Flight Factor 757. I should buy it at some point. You know, seriously, it's been on my short list. Like anytime I think about buying an airplane or a new airplane for X-Plane, it's always been, it's either the 767 or the 757, like the the ultimate model, I think it is, the $100 and some model. Not the one that's like $1,000, but like the one that's like $100. Yeah, I may just wind up doing it. All right, let's fix our speed. This was a big thing last night. Our speed in this airplane. Yes, you are a little biased. I could understand that. Contact Cleveland Center on 132.125 American 0 Alpha November. I could understand why you'd be a little biased. Let me think why Chicago would be a little biased on the 757. It's a great plane. I just, I'm stuck between that and the 767. Yeah. Yeah, man. Cleveland Center, good afternoon. American 0 Alpha November, descending through 5,000 feet on the DEM 5 arrival in Pittsburgh.
American 0 Alpha November, Cleveland Center, good afternoon.
Alright, so speed's better now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Captain Greg with our First Officer Long Duck Dong. We'd like to thank you for flying American Airlines today. We've begun our descent into Pittsburgh. It's going to be a little cloudy, a little bumpy on the way down, but we'll certainly do our best to get you on ground as quick as possible. It's very cold, minus 8 degrees Celsius in Pittsburgh, so hopefully you got your jackets. And we will do our best to get you to the gate on time for anybody who's connecting to their next flight. Have a happy new year, and thanks for flying American. Go ahead, Lisa, tell them what I said, bitch.
Acknowledged, Captain Greg. We are preparing for descent into Pittsburgh and will ensure all passengers are informed.
Thank you, Lisa. That's Lisa from Chicago, by the way. They give us pictures of these people, like, when you're in Say Intentions and you're like I know Chad Skybro is not real, you know what I mean? Like, that's obvious, but like, are these real people? Like, is Lisa real? Or like, you know, Florina? Like, if the, like, any of these, like, pictures, like, I don't think those, maybe they're not real people, I don't know. But we got Lisa, I mean, there's a lot of people here. Got your mom. I always think that's funny. Two-Tone Murphy, which is pretty cool. He's a streamer. I think he's like Irish or something like that. Pete Mitchell. You know, Tom Cruise. Yep. But yeah, if you're going to use the checklist feature, call and response part, you have to see here, like under here, it says he can't fly that plane. You have to find one of these co-pilots that'll do it, like Addison will do it. And then you also have to leave off, you have to leave it in standard mode. If we do it, like I used to have this thing in pro mode where I have to read back everything like you do, I guess, in real life. But if you want to use the checklist and all the new features, you have to leave it in standard mode. Alright, so we have runway 28 left. 2993. I don't know if I believe that or not. I always go back to Navigraph to see what they say, because I never believe Say Intentions. Like, they're usually wrong. Oh, they're close today. They're not usually that close. Sometimes they're like 0.50 off. Like, it'll be like A 2957, right? Is like the real pressure. And then Say Intentions will be like, all right, it's 30.17. And I'm like, where are you getting that from? Like, I don't see anywhere that says it's 30.17. Amazing that this thing is free. Like, how did they, like, where did they make their money from? You know what I mean? Like, because even the liveries that I've downloaded for this airplane over time, like I downloaded the Southwest one, and I think I have a United livery as well. Like, I have like 3 or 4. I think I still have 3 or 4 that I've downloaded. Like, those are even free. You just have to download them from the forum. But yeah, like, how did they make their money? It's crazy. I want to do a little research on this team here. LevelUp and just see, is it like a handful of guys? Is it?
American 0 Alpha November. Contact Pittsburgh approach on 121.25.
Contact Pittsburgh approach on 121.25. American 0 Alpha November. Alright, a 757 looks like that's for me then. Yeah, I don't need to do long haul flights, but I would like to have another rocket ship. Yeah, that'll be good. Pittsburgh, good afternoon. American 0 Alpha November descending through 14,000 feet on the DEM 5 arrival.
American 0 Alpha November, Pittsburgh approach. Good afternoon. Pittsburgh altimeter 2986. Expect the ILS runway 28 left approach into Pittsburgh.
Last night when we were landing, when we were doing the, not the first landing we all saw that, but the other landings that I was doing last night, I was not using the auto throttle. Like, the auto throttle was just not working good enough last night. So we were one hand flying in 40 mile an hour, 40 knot wind, flying it with one hand on the yoke, one hand on the throttle. And then the way I have it set up, I do have independent, throttles set up. So, oh, I just disconnected it by accident. There we go. Alright, we should get down to Nesto in time. That's 10,000 feet. It looks like we're going to be there. Such a dope livery. I like this thing, man. Silver bullet. Yeah, landing in, that wasn't, I mean, I'm not upset at all with the landings last night. Look, I know we joke around with each other about landings and things like that. Like, I really do, try my best with these landings. But man, that 40 knot headwind last night, that was interesting, man. I haven't landed too many airplanes in a simulator in that kind of wind. Maybe. Traffic is so late, they can get permission around 200. Wow, you can go that fast? You can go 275 knots under 10,000 feet? That's cool. I didn't know that. I remember one time Chicago was talking about sending into Chicago, and you have to maintain a certain, like, it's like 210 knots until 10 miles out or something like that, he said, but ooh, satellite ground scenery. Sweet. Thanks, dude. I'll check that out when I'm done flying. When I'm done today, I gotta meet my mom and some family for dinner. It's my mom's birthday today. No shit. That's cool. Alright, once we get past Nesto, we'll descend down to 6,000 feet. Unless Say Intentions has other news for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Pittsburgh. At this time, we kindly ask that you
ghost
turn
town,
off
really?
your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate.
No shit.
Please return
Yeah,
your
we get
trays
British Airways.
to their
British Airways is like the only, like,
Make sure that your seats
non-American
are
airplane that really flies into Baltimore, Washington. We get Iceland every once in a while, too, like that pink plane from Iceland.
So we hope you have your jackets handy. Our assigned gate is Terminal B.
Oh yeah, speech to text is bad. Yeah.
Cooperation.
I use speech to text a lot when I'm trolling DSP, and yeah, it most of the time does not come out right. It doesn't matter if I use an Android, and actually Android seems a bit better. Oh, that's cool. Aer Lingus direct to Dublin. That's cool. Yeah, whatever that pink plane is, that pink airplane from either Iceland or Scotland. I forget where it's from, but that plane flies into... I see that plane landing every once in a while at Baltimore, Washington, but for the most part, yeah, it's just British Airways. That's about it. We have minus 1300. What's our ground speed? 220, so... yeah, that's about 3%. A 3% angle. 222 times 5. Yeah, it's close enough.
American Zero Alpha November, Pittsburgh approach, proceed direct Allen. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 28 left approach.
Copy that. Proceed direct Hadlin, descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer for 28 left, American 0 Alpha November. Okay, so let's get down to 4,000. Let's go direct Hadlin. Let's get our heading synced first. We'll go into heading mode. And we'll do Hanlon. No, we never turned off the landing gear. I guess we can do that now. Oops. Hey Chad, will you handle the comms for the remainder of the flight, please?
1,000 to go.
Sure thing, Greg. I'll handle the comms from here on out.
All right, there's Pittsburgh. That must be the stadium down there. I think they do. Don't they have Heinz Field? Isn't Heinz Field like right on the water like that?
American 0 Alpha November, contact Pittsburgh Tower on 128.3.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Those stadiums were on there.
Pittsburgh Tower on 128.3. American 0. Pittsburgh Tower, American 0 Alpha November. Good afternoon. Established on the ILS runway 28 left approach.
We are?
Pittsburgh Tower,
I didn't know that, chat.
American 0 Alpha November.
There's
Good
the runways
afternoon.
right here.
Established on the ILS runway 28 left approach.
American 0 Alpha November, Pittsburgh Tower, roger. American 0 Alpha November, Pittsburgh Tower, winds 290 at 12, gusting 16, runway 28 left, clear to land.
I hate using the heads-up display, but
Left, clear to land.
I'll use it for a little bit just so everybody can see what it looks like.
November.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's cool that they work like that, like they do in real life. That's awesome. I tell you, one thing I really enjoyed was the Zero to Hero stuff from FS Academy. That shit is great. Those lessons, like the IFR lessons and navigation, man, I learned so much about like finding out what what 3% is, like a 3% angle down, or how many miles away to start making a turn. Like, it's, you know, about moving into holding patterns, you know, joining traffic in order to land, like all that kind of stuff. Definitely well worth the 60 or 70 bucks that it is. I think it's like 60 bucks now. I kind of want to see what this thing does on auto land, but I don't have it set up for really doing an auto land. I turned that feature off. But see how the reticle is trying to line up with the sweet spot? That's because we plugged in the info for the runway, you know, the height and the length. Sweet spot. Yeah. LOL sweet spot.
1,000.
We're at 1,000, really?
Light slow.
I know, buddy. I know.
Light slow. Light slow. Light slow. Light slow. Light slow. Light slow.
Whoa, wasted, really? Well, that's all right. We'll come back in again, just like we did last night. I don't think that was wasted. I think that was actually a pretty good landing, actually, but we'll go back and do it again. Go around. No way, dude. There was no way that was that hard of a landing.
American 0 Alpha.
Oh yeah, let me turn off say intentions.
Ground on 121.9er.
Okay. All right, let's do 10 miles out again. Oh yeah, I never even thought about doing the replay. Hang on. View, toggle replay. Maybe it was that hard. I don't think it was that hard of a landing. Yeah, I forgot that they do the replay thing here. Cool. Look Microsoft and Asobo. Look how easily we can just replay this. We don't have to click record. It just does it all on its own. Nice little golf course. Now, it could have been that the barometric pressure was off. That's... Shit. I gotta take this phone call. Let me just tell her I'll call her back in a minute. Yeah. A little rough. I don't know, it looked pretty good to me. Alright, let's just try landing it one last time. I am gonna have to get off here probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But let's just try it one last time from 10 miles out. Right. MSFS, right. Yeah. Yeah, 2050. The replay system is so bad, too. All right, so first of all, we're not going to have auto thrust. We're not going to have any of that. Put the landing gear down. Let me make sure the trim is okay. Okay.
Positive rate.
I mean, last night, the last 2 landings we did on this airplane last night, one was like minus 84 and one was like minus 44. Like, we had a couple of really soft landings last night, but you know, if that turns out to be the best landing we, you know, out of the maybe 1 or 2 I'm getting ready to do, I'm okay with that. That was pretty close to center line. It was in the sweet spot, and it didn't seem like it was that. I don't think it was like 800, like minus 800 feet. It didn't look that bad to me. Maybe it was. All right, following the glide slope pretty well. The part that tricks me about this runway, which is one of the reasons I want to keep on trying this over, it's very deceiving because it's like the runway is up on a hill, and when you're coming in, it almost looks like you need to line up like height-wise with that valley that's right before it. But man, then it just raises up like 20 feet. Oh yeah, what's the barometric pressure right now? Shit, hang on a second. I need to adjust that. Let's see here. 29. Okay, so it's pretty close. We need to get down in altitude. Yeah, getting center line is not so much an issue anymore for me. I've been really working on that in the off season. But you know, getting in all, and I say it often but it's true. I mean, getting in all these different airplanes like all the time and then trying to like butter and grease every single one, that's a tough deal, dude. That's tough for anybody to do. Just to, you know, you go from flying a Piper, you know, a Piper Cherokee or something like that, and then get into an Airbus, and then you get into a, you know, a Cessna, you know, 152 for training, and then you get into a Citation X, and then now you jump into like a 737. Like, it's okay. We're back in business with the glide slope. Increase the throttle a little bit.
Light slow. 200. Light slow. 200. 100. 60. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Man, that's still a hard landing. Good lord. Let me pause this. We'll check out this landing. I'm going to mute myself while this is on replay, just so I can talk to who I have to talk to. Let me put this away sign up too, because after I talk to them, I might be able to land like a couple more times. Give me a second here. Let's turn off the banner. Let me put on this away thing. Yeah, no, that time I wasn't looking at the end of the runway. But no, I know that does help a lot. I do it all the time with general aviation. I just don't do it with big jets, which I probably should do, actually. All right, let me mute myself so I can make this quick.
Gentlemen, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your carry-on items towed until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. We ask that you please use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from any items that may have shifted during the flight. You may now use mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices. However, laptop computers may not be used at this time. Before you leave the aircraft, please be sure to check your seat pocket, the overhead bins, and the floor area around your seat for any personal articles you may have brought on board.
All right, guys, I'm back. Give me a second here. All right, I can see why that landing was a little rough. All right, let's go back for one more again, and then that's about it for today. Maybe tonight when I come. Maybe I'll come back tonight for a flight. Probably not though, because dinner's not until 6. I won't be home until 8 or 9 probably, and I got to work tomorrow. It feels like, you know, when it gets dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, by the time it gets to, like, 6 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, it's like, man, it feels like it's the middle of the night already. I'm like, man, I'm ready to go to sleep. All right, this time we'll stare at the end of the runway. And if we float a little bit, we float. Okay, let's go. All right, landing gear down. Trim is trimming.
Positive rate.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, floating's not the problem. I'm just thinking, I just want to make this as soft as possible. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if I float for a little bit, that's okay. All right, let's get caught up again with the glide slope. Let's get back on track with this thing. I love how easily it is to just get back into a flight in this thing. Man, the X-Plane is so much better than Microsoft in so many ways. It really is. Now, the auto throttle might work. Let me see. Last night, I couldn't get it to work. Let's see if it works today. Because if I can have 2 hands on the yoke, landing this thing, that would be better for me, at least. Yeah, see, I don't think it's going to do it. Well, it might, actually. Yeah, it is. It's working. All right, awesome. All right, so now I don't have to worry about the auto throttle. Let's move that down to 135. Yeah, it's going to be a late dinner tonight. Going to G&M's. That's a pretty good restaurant, G&M's. It's near the airport, near BWI Airport. They got really good seafood, really good crab cakes. I'm on my diet, though, so I can't really eat any of that shit. The diet is not too bad. It's pretty easy to follow the rules of this Weight Watchers diet. I can still pretty much eat whatever I want. I just eat a lot more protein, and I can't remember the last time I've had pizza or pasta, and which is like something I used to live off that shit. Rice, pasta, and pizza. But now that I cut pizza out of my life, I cut pasta out of my life, rice every once in a while, man, losing weight's been a cinch. See, I want to go for a real pilot's license, but I don't want to do it until I'm of a better weight. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get below 200 again. I'm only 5'5", so you know, my highest weight earlier this year was 320 pounds, which is huge for a 5'5", man. I just let myself go. It happens. But we've lost 50 pounds since June. I still haven't vaped. I haven't vaped now. It's been almost a year since that happened. That's crazy that it's been almost a year that I vaped, man. I vaped for so many years, man. That's wild that it's been almost a year. I do smoke weed every once in a while. I'm not gonna lie. It does help a lot with anxiety and things like that, but yeah, man, thanks, dude. Yeah, I can't get behind the real yoke of an airplane with my belly hitting the yoke, man. I can't do that. You kidding me? It's hard enough flying sometimes with the Turtle Beach system with my stomach getting in the way, man. I can't do that in real life.
400.
So yeah, we gonna get down to an ideal weight, and then we gonna go at it.
300.
Yeah, that's my ultimate dream, is to be able to fly real airplanes at some point in my life.
Light slow.
Shut up.
Light slow. 200. 100. 60. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
It wasn't buttered, but I'll take it. I will take it. That's a good landing. Let's just check that one out. That one felt good. I looked at the end of the runway, just like our resident pilot said, and it worked. Don't ever think you know more than a real pilot. They will always know more than you. Trust me on this one. Trust me on this one, that a real pilot will know a lot more than you think.
300.
All right, let's and we're going to end the episode with this. With this landing. Could have held the nose in the air a little bit longer. But not bad. Not bad. Do they have a tower view? I thought they did. Let me see here. Oh yeah, they do. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Almost got it in the touchdown zone. Oh, look at that. Is that an MD-11? That's a big engine. That's got to be an MD-11 or an MD-10. That's not a Boeing 727, I don't think. That's Air Force. Oh, we can't really see it from here. Oh, well, I'm getting out of here. I got to get ready for dinner. Yeah, I don't have time to do another flight. I was thinking about doing another flight, but yeah, I don't have time for that today. I got to get ready to go soon. All right, my friends, I will see you on the next episode at Airplane Show. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Let's have a good 2026, everybody. And yeah, man, it was nice catching up with some old online friends here today. Not old like age, but old like we've known each other for like a year now. So see you, Keith. See you, Scalebait. See you, Chicago. And I will see everyone next time. See you.